The Mo Ibrahim Foundation was created in 2006 by Sudanese business magnate Mo Ibrahim. In 2007, the foundation inaugurated the Mo Ibrahim Prize for Achievement in African Leadership to recognize and reward African leaders who distinguished themselves during their tenure. The Ibrahim Index of African Governance provides an annual assessment of the quality of governance in African countries. Ghana was ranked a respectable 7th out of 52 countries this year on participation in governance and human rights. Ghana attained the same position last year. However, there have been concerns that the high democratic credentials has not translated into commensurate economic growth.
Ghana placing 7 in Africa I think it's a fair description, and I think it's generally very accurate because Ghana is making a lot of progress in terms of democratic governance. Maybe we've not been able to translate that into economic development, but when it comes to we electing our own leaders, trying to make sure that our institutions are accountable, we are making some progress.
An overwhelming imbalance between imports and exports, coupled with a huge budget deficit and falling national currency, means that the country's economy is facing one of its toughest challenges to date. Even though government has expressed optimism in addressing the current challenges, Mr. Ibrahim feels a lot could be achieved if the political climate was less tense. He blamed the high temperature of the political climate for the slow pace of development, a sentiment shared by other political watchers. Vladimir Enchidanso is an international relations expert at the Legon Center for International Affairs of the University of Ghana.
We in Africa and in Ghana, we are nowhere near the principles of democracy. Yes, we have a constitution, we have institutions, we have the checks and balances, but the interpretation of these things, all right? We say we have checks and balances. It's the executive we make the laws. Before parliament, we should have been a check on the executive. Agree or disagree and make the law. And using the whip system and whatnot, whatever the executive brings. These are the things we need to check, and not to say that opposition should be part or not part. Inclusiveness does not necessarily mean that when you win power, you bring every opposition member on board.
Since Ghana returned to constitutional rule in 1992, political power has alternated between the National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party. The practice of a winner-takes-all system means that there is so much at stake during elections, which invariably contributes to the heightened tension. The Institute of Economic Affairs recently released a report on the negative consequences of the practice.
When a party wins power, the ridiculous thing they do is that everything in the country changes to the color of the party in power. So the police become NDC, military become NDC, schools become NDC, changing from 4 years to 3 years. It's an NDC manifesto. So the national is lost. That's not what winner takes all means. Winner takes all means that the principles are there. How do you go about it? That's why I have always advocated. For example, let's change the National Development Planning Commission into a national commission, not a party commission, so that people working there are permanent. They plan for the country. For example, if we have a housing deficit of 1.5 million, they plan every 5 years, depending on looking at our revenue levels, we will be able to liquidate 15 houses, 20 houses. So the parties rather take their manifestos from the national planning.
We need the political parties to be thinking about development, to be thinking about how they will make the lives of the ordinary Ghanaians better. And when you look at that issue or the concept of development, it doesn't really matter whether you are NDC, MPP or CPP. All of us want to see a Ghana where food is on the table, water is guaranteed, electricity is a given, the basic things must be seen as a given.
So how can the country exercise its political demons and rope in all interest groups to foster development?
Expect us to understand that all of us are Ghanaians, and let's look for the best brains, irrespective of their party affiliation, ethnicity or religion or their location in the country, etc. Let's assemble these people. Let's ensure that they really prosecute the agenda of development. So I think if we can graduate over that partisanship which has really colored our politics, I think that will really be good for us.
No matter what Mo Ibrahim and his group have said about Ghanaian politics, I believe the real road to democracy does not lie in just opposition, inclusiveness, and what inclusiveness can be done with real democracy in mind, not necessarily pacifying opposition.